Hey guys, I'm Aaron from Little Heroes Comics, and you're listening to Tim Pod Radio. You can catch us at www.littleheroescomics.co.uk.
Please don't fear me, because I know what I want. Please deliver me that soft part of your soul that makes you freeze time, staring in at yourself. It's time to step outside onto the path you once made. Let me keep you so I can find all your tears. I can mend you so you can function again. I was where you are in oblivion. I know that you feel alone. You've got to ask yourself where you are now. It's where you are now. It's where you are now.
Chapter 13. Operating out of the walled-off city of Houston, the only other currently active Beyond Human besides Pulpy was the vigilante hero T.U.M.G.S. When I say currently active, I mean that people know of. With Beyond Humans there are always rumours here and talk there all over the place. Some science nerds have suggested that there may be thousands of Beyond Humans operating in every city, but they just haven't drawn attention to themselves yet. Pulpy hasn't even been able to check on this man's Beyond Human status to verify it because he, as with any other military or law enforcement operative, is not allowed to set foot in Houston under the Houston Act ML78J. No one in, no one out, only supplies. Most people think he's just an urban legend anyway, or just a bunch of fake stories created by people within Houston to stir up interest from the rest of the country. Or maybe that he's even a US government propaganda ploy to try and keep criminals from entering the city. But he is real as a kick in the nuts. With Houston, the United Nations is silent. You'd think they'd be kicking up a stink, considering this is the type of thing they're there to kick up a stink about, though they've always tended to be less kicking and more sitting when it comes to things the United States does. In this case, the US basically said we will allow Pulpy to work with the UN from time to time, if you just forget about Houston. People think T.U.M.G.S is Beyond Human because of all of the reports of the things he's supposedly done that have leaked out of Houston. The internet is fast becoming one big spreader of his exploits. And then there's the fan fiction. Don't get me started on the T.U.M.G.S and Pulpy slash fiction. Also, back there where I used the word hero in talking about him, well, that may have been the wrong word to use when describing the metal-masked vigilante and so-called protector of Houston. This government-labelled whacked-out crazy in orange camouflage isn't going to be on any cereal boxes, because being any kind of hero in Houston, Texas just screams you're nuts. Texas alone is crazy big hats with all its guns. Talk of becoming its own nation, Beyond Human prisons, and Jesus riding dinosaur schoolbooks. But Houston? Best of luck to you in all of your heroic comings and goings. Reports are T.U.M.G.S handles criminals who cross his path with a high level of violence, and that might just be the thing needed in a city that has become one of the most violent in the country, since all those chemicals were accidentally dropped on Houston by a government cargo plane 5 years ago, turning the city into a metropolis that is 40% insane and 50% crazy. The other 10% aren't all there in the head either. Then the government closed its borders, declared it off limits, and finally built the wall, and for the most part washed its hands of the city and its people. But with Houston's defender it's only a matter of time before his past catches up with him. Right now, T.U.M.G.'s creators see Houston as a good sort of prison for him, until they decide to reclaim their weapon, and when that happens it's going to be hell, and a lot of people are going to die, innocent and guilty alike. The situation in Houston was one of the first signs of a greater coming chaos, and in the middle of that future will be a man in a metal mask, as Houston will be a training ground for the choices he alone will have to make someday.
The Office of Civil Defense has issued the following message.
The All Persons Information Control Center in Tampa has said it is closing its doors. After, to quote someone, too many have discovered what our true goals are. What they meant by that is unknown, but saying anything against them or asking any more questions of any type violates their right to religious freedom. So we believe that bit of news is done. Also in this news report, the Beyond Human terrorist, Anchor, has struck again against Freedom America as he attacked a homeless reframing squad in Orlando. The HRS were stopped from their herding job, and now Miami will never get their yearly shipment of homeless. How a government clandestine official is supposed to make a living these days with illegal actions like these. The Pulpy Air Force Space Wing emailed us some news today. The new PAFSW patches have arrived. You could get them in Velcro or sewing form. Remember, it is illegal to wear these in public. You can find the new patches for $57.50 at any local Air Force base or bridal shop. Proceeds go to the National Pulpy Library. It's filling up quick now that photos and art representing him is no longer illegal. Today's special is green tea iced coffee. It tastes like seaweed that was previously soaked in pee. This has been an important official independent breaking news alert. We are fully sponsored by We are sponsored by your friends and lovers. Breaking news is voiced by Brittany Wood, and she would like everyone to know that this was just another paying gig. That coded information hidden in the sounds of her voice has nothing to do with her. Breaking news is written by and edited by a gallbladder surprise.